Just listen to the sound, to hearts beating, beating time. Hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah, hey yeah. Don't forget that you and your wicked ways. You and your wicked ways. You and your wicked ways. Say turn around. Just listen to the sound. To hearts beating, beating time.
Hey everybody.
Are you guys ready? What's going on, you guys? Hello, hello, hello! My friends, it's been a while since we've done a stream. I'm super excited. I am live with my beautiful, beautiful co-hosts. We have Corey, CC Gaming, Chadley with the epic beard, and some guy. We have Ryan right there.
Some guy.
Some guy. What's up, guys? How's it going, you guys? I hope you guys have been doing really good. I know that we've all been busy for the last 2 months, but we're finally back. We're finally able to chat it up, so I'm super excited. We have so much to talk about, so let's go ahead and jump into it because it's been a long 2 months, and tell me what's been going on. Chadley, let's start with you. What's up, man? How are you?
Busy. So, yeah. I mean, I've been still streaming like I always been, schedule and all that kind of stuff. But just finished Pokemon. Started Metroid Prime. Started playing that. So I played Metroid Prime back when it first came out, and I've owned it since then. But I don't think I've ever really gotten very far in it, and I'm loving it. I'm like, why did I not play this sooner? Like, Metroid Prime is a really good game. And I've heard the second one is good, but not as good as the first one. So I have the second one as well, but so I plan on playing both. It's just a matter of time to get to that second one. Outside of streaming and stuff, just been busy with work, and I also, and you guys probably have seen this, but I've been posting stuff about a sort of like a side hobby that I started picking up. I used to do cross stitching when I was a kid, so now I've been doing that a lot too, off stream and on stream too. So there's been a couple times where I've live streamed and I'm just sitting there working on my cross stitch and just talking with people. So yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Oh, that's awesome. Corey, what about you, my friend? What have you been up to? What's been going on in your world?
Oh, much like Chadley, I've been crossed. No, I'm just kidding. I've been very busy. I've been busy. I did end up taking a very small break from streaming as well to get things in order for me. Like I've been on a bit of a weight loss journey that I'm still continuing. So I've been doing some things to take care of that. But I've been streaming again. But work's been crazy and streams and all. I've been streaming the Mass Effect Legendary Collection on PS5. It's amazing. I've been streaming that, and I've been streaming Miitopia a bunch as well, back and forth with those. And then off stream, I've been playing a bunch of Horizon Zero Dawn, which we were just absolutely. So I already had tried playing it a bunch of times, and I just never really got hooked past a couple hours in before. But this time I turned it on story mode, so it's super easy. I'm not even afraid to admit that. And I've just been loving playing through it without all the anxiety of like the stealth and worrying about like the 50 million dinosaurs that come at you all the time. I just kill them very easily now. So
I don't blame you. It can be a tough game.
Yeah, so I've been having a lot of fun with that. So I'm definitely getting pumped for the new one. Yeah, not a whole lot else other than that kind of stuff.
That's awesome. Ryan, what about you, man? What have you been up to?
First off, I gotta say this, Corey, we can see the difference. Like the work you've been putting in, we can tell.
Oh, thanks, guys. I really wasn't trying. I wasn't like, trying to get everybody to compliment me, but do go on.
No. Well, no.
Appreciate
I
that.
took the bait. You fished for compliments. I took the bait.
I do appreciate it, guys.
Oh man, I've been streaming though. I've been trying to stay consistent with the streams. Aside from that, just being at work. It's been up and down there all the time. We have people. It's a revolving door over there. So people are in, they're out, left and right. I've seen like 2 new faces a week, and then 2 more people quit.
Oh shoot!
But aside from that, yeah, I just go in, I do my work, I come home, I stream. Stick to it.
There you go.
And I'm loving it. Just finished, just hit 1 year earlier this month.
Hey, congrats, dude.
Oh, thank you. But yeah, it's great. Love it. Still going strong.
That's awesome. Well, some of you don't know, and some of you know, I've been taking a break from streaming. I've been focusing on the family, and I've been focusing on the business. And I'm happy to report the business has been growing. We've been super busy. And everything got shut down again here in Ontario, and it's all slowly opening again. We're seeing an opening hopefully by June 24th. So we'll see how that goes.
Nice.
Let's see what else. I've been doing little videos on YouTube. Nothing crazy, just things on my car and stuff like that. Just to throw stuff on there. What else? What else has been happening?
You've been making me really hungry with your barbecue pics and stuff. Love me some good barbecue.
And I've been reconnecting with my kids again, and it's been super. They've been enjoying me being home all the time, and just having to go to work and come home and spend time with them. We've been going on bike rides, really long bike rides, so it's been really good. It's been awesome. Yeah, I do miss streaming. I miss streaming a lot. I'm hoping to get back to it soon. It's just right now I'm enjoying this time that I have. So yeah, that's about it. All right, guys. So before I forget, please, if you guys aren't following any of these creators, all their links are in the description below, so you can definitely go check them out and give them a follow and give them a sub and so on and so forth. Let's jump into it because there's so much to talk about. Okay, so let's jump into the first thing. So it's been a few months now since PlayStation 5 and Xbox been released, and there's major things happening right now, and the biggest problem we're having is restocking these consoles. They're not able to keep the stock going. We have a lot of what do you call it? Those people who
your favorite topic when I'm around? Yeah, those people.
What are they called?
Scalpers.
Scalpers. We have them buying
I
out.
thought you were being. Oh, I didn't. I thought you were joking when you
No.
couldn't remember the name.
Totally missed that. I was like, what? What's going on?
I was like, oh, is this the joke?
we have them buying out all the consoles, so we're not. Well, nobody's able to pick one up. On top of that, they're also having a shortage on the chips for the consoles themselves. That includes also Nvidia that creates graphics cards. They have a shortage of chips due to this pandemic. So it's been really, really off. Nobody's been able to get anything. I haven't even been able to get a Nvidia video card till today. And how long have those been announced for now, right?
Hey, you got one though. That's awesome.
I didn't get one.
You got one?
I didn't get one.
I didn't get one until
No,
today.
no,
I
no.
thought you meant like you got one today. I was like,
No,
oh,
no,
awesome.
no. I didn't get one. Even
like,
until
up through
today.
you
Yeah.
haven't gotten one. Got it. I was like, wow, awesome.
But overall, what are you guys' thoughts on this crazy shortage and this crazy that they can't keep stock in for anything? What are your thoughts on it? Do you think it'll get better anytime soon? So let's go ahead and start with Corey.
Well, do I think it'll get better anytime soon? No. That's a short answer. I don't really think it's going to be anytime soon. The problem is that our technology allowing people to buy up a lot of these things, first of all, is even better than ever and even harder to get around than ever before. Combine that with the silicon shortage, combine that with, our global situation of everything right now and people not being able to work as much and this and that. No, we're not. It's not going to go anytime soon, unfortunately. However, it is getting better. I think it's getting better slowly, but it's not going to go anytime soon. I'm hoping to get like an Xbox at some point in the near future, but I'm not on the grind for it or anything. I'm not like I'm not like keeping my eyes on all the websites and stuff. Every couple of weeks, I'm like, okay, can I buy one on Amazon or can I buy one on GameStop? No. Okay, I don't really need one.
Yeah.
But one day I'm gonna see one and I'm gonna be like, okay, pull the trigger, and then I'm gonna regret it instantly, but I'm gonna keep it anyway. Yeah, that's kind of my thought. It kind of sucks though, like that. Nvidia's having problems, and also AMD, because they released new graphics cards pretty recently as well that are like competing price wise and performance wise. And they basically, you can't buy those either. I mean, the only people, more or less, other than the bots and people who are willing to pay, double and triple the price, are the only people getting them are the people that Nvidia and AMD and stuff are like sending to them directly, the YouTubers and the reviewers and things like that. And it kind of makes me think at this point, like it's kind of crappy, like kind of sucks, because you got people like Linus Tech Tips and all those guys that get like, they must have 10 to 15 of like the 3080s and stuff like that, like just lying around, and they're constantly using them in their builds. They were given to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, but they also have to get out there, their review products and things. I don't know. Anyway, that's a whole different topic. Yeah, I don't have much else to say about that topic.
Chadley, what about you, man? What are your thoughts?
I agree with Corey. I mean, it's not going to get any better. Obviously, the effects of the pandemic and stuff are probably slow. Like it's slowly getting better because of that. But then you also have the scalpers. You also have I guess what they call them, miners too. Miners wanting to pick them up. So the bots are not just for scalpers now. We have bots that are grabbing these cards because people want to use them for mining, for Bitcoin and all that kind of stuff too. So it's like, I don't see it getting any better. And I know Nvidia has tried to come up with a solution for that problem as well by coming out with new graphics cards that the gaming cards are like I guess there's a part of the chip that is really good for mining that they removed that from the gaming cards, and now they're actually going to be releasing a different model that is more for mining to try to sway the miners to buy these cards. They obviously don't know how people think, because they're just going to buy both.
Yeah.
Like they're just going to buy, they're going to be like, I'm going to buy the miner card, which is going to be faster, but I'm going to still buy the gaming card, even though it's a little bit slower. I'm still going to buy it because it's still going to, because it's not like the people are sitting in front of their computers while this thing is mining. These computers are just running 24/7.
And inevitably, they're going to be more expensive, the mining ones, and therefore people are going to buy the gaming ones anyway. Now there are several things in place. Like technically speaking, you can't mine with like a typical like 3080 without some measures you have to take. There are dummy HDMI plugs you have to plug in and things like that. So like there are already measures in place to prevent that, but again, like I said, they've got the plugs, the dummy plugs you can buy on Amazon for like $3, which are just a little piece this big that just plug right into the HDMI plug that fake the card. You're tricking into thinking that there's a display plugged into it, and the cards won't mine and stuff like that. They won't function optimally if they're not plugged in because they're designed to be a display.
So
there's just a million different things that they've already got all these measures in place. People get around them, with no problem.
Yeah, it's not. You can't stop it. So it's like the shortages of everything. PS5, Xbox. I mean, and I'm afraid of what could potentially be coming down the road for Nintendo because we have all these rumors, and I know we're going to probably be talking about that later about the rumors with Nintendo and the possible upgraded Switch coming and all this kind of stuff. So I won't say much about that. So we can save it for later. But I'm just afraid, at least from this point, like I'm afraid what's going to happen if this new thing comes out. Like, are we going to run into the same issue? Because they don't use the same parts, technically. They use a different graphics chip than the graphics chips that are getting very hard to get a hold of. So it's like, is the Switch going to still run into the same issue because they're using something that none of the other consoles are using? So, but yeah, I won't go into any more of that, but yeah. So I don't think it's not going to get any better anytime soon. And it may not ever really get better because it's not going to stop. The mining is not going to, it's not like the miners are just going to stop, So.
Yeah, well, we've made enough money. It's time to be done.
Yeah, exactly.
Ryan, what are your thoughts on all this?
It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. The snowball has started to roll downhill, and it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. This isn't really... There's no real way to cut it off, to stop it, or anything like that. Look at Pokemon cards right now. Like, this happened the last 2 months while we were gone. Pokemon cards, we had an armed guy straight up over Pokemon cards in a store. Just for Pokemon cards. You don't think that it's going to get worse like that? We're going to hit that level eventually too with games and consoles. Then we're going to have stores putting up those signs too. I see it every day. I walk by the sign that says we are no longer carrying trading cards due to circumstances elsewhere.
Yeah.
One of these days, it's going to get to be in, like, games, especially because I hear customers every day. They come up to me and ask me, do you have Xbox? Do you have PlayStation? Do you have Switches? Do you have any of these things? And we don't. We haven't in months. I think Christmas was the last time.
You need to get good, Ryan, okay? Get good and stock your store.
First off, I don't handle restocks. I take things off the shelves. I don't put them on.
Well, you just put them on.
I need to start stocking the shelves. Oh, they want me over there, don't they? But yeah, oh my gosh, my mom was just calling me up last night when it came to the graphics cards because that's what my little brother wants. His birthday's sometime next week. He wants a graphics card for his computer, and the cheapest one they can find is just about $400. It's crazy, and it's a problem where there's no real way to ever really find a workable solution to it at this time.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, exactly.
And which card was the $400 card, though? That's the other thing.
I can't even remember.
Because you got to remember, a 3070 at retail was initially $499.
I have no idea what one was.
But now you're lucky to find a 3070 for under probably $900. Yeah. It's like double. But that's just weird to think that they the suggested retail price is $499, but yet it's nowhere near that. So, and the
I'm glad-
card that she found was probably like a 1060 or something
Yeah,
Probably.
most of them
for
play.
$400. Yeah,
Mhm.
which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm glad I got a 2070 Super right before the 3000 series got announced. And I'm glad I didn't wait at all because I wouldn't be able to get one right now.
No, exactly. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like I said, I've been trying to get my hands on a 3 series. I'm like, I'll take anything at this point. Not literally. I want a 3080, but nothing is out. Nothing is out there. And even the companies that are taking still back orders, they're telling you, 6-7 months before you get your card, if that. It's like, Jesus, man, that's harsh. So, what are you gonna do? I mean, we're in a waiting game, and again, like, you have to, and it's gonna be hard because, let's say the Switch, when we talk about it, are we gonna get the same issue with pre-orders? Are we gonna be able to get pre-orders? Is the question, right? All right, so let's jump into some games. So we finally got Pokemon Snap, Resident Evil, and Returnal. Have you guys played any of these games yet? Did you pick any of them up? And if so, what are your thoughts on it? So let's go ahead and start with Corey.
Sorry, I was looking to see if I had a certain game sitting right here, but I don't. Okay, so I did pick up Pokemon Snap. I haven't beaten it yet. I've been going pretty slow with it on purpose, but it's a blast. I've really been enjoying it. I didn't really play the original one very much, to be honest. But this one is a lot of fun. It's very casual and just like a chill time. Really enjoy it. Resident Evil 8. I'm not a Resident Evil fan, so didn't pick that one up. Can't speak on that one at all. Returnal, however, can burn in a fire. I was gonna say Ryan knows. Ryan's kind of what's the word? He loves to torment himself. So he loves the game. I think. I'm pretty sure. However, Returnal it's fun. It is fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's fun, but it's actually quite. There was a lot of choices that they made that were really bad in the game. Like you can't save. The one run of the game can be several hours long, and you can't save except a checkpoint at the third biome or fourth biome or whatever. It's pretty bad in my opinion. However, the game is fun. I just can't take that repetitiveness and I don't know. However, it's not a bad game. Not objectively a bad game. It's just not for me. Yeah.
Not your game, but not bad.
Yeah. It can burn in a fire still. It can still burn in a fire.
Yeah.
Chad,
Okay, that's all.
what about you, buddy?
So I didn't get any of those games that you mentioned. But I have seen people. I haven't watched too much of Returnal, but I did watch a few people play Pokemon Snap. I don't think it's a game for me, but it does seem it's like a cute game, and it's really cool to watch someone else experience it that's really into the game and stuff. I think I watched Ferran a little bit, and Kat, and a couple others on Twitch as well that were playing the game, and so yeah, I mean the game is very cutesy, and it's just another aspect of Pokemon that you don't normally see from the other Pokemon mainstream games and stuff. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I just don't think it's a game for me. Resident Evil 8, I've watched a little bit of it. I'm indifferent about Resident Evil because those types of games are not games that I typically play. I have played the first Resident Evil. I plan on playing the second Resident Evil, not the remakes, just the originals. But once you get to 6, 7, 8, I don't know. I just don't know if those Resident Evils would be something that I would want to play, because they're just very gory and just and jump scary stuff, and I don't do well with that stuff. So I know everyone else would probably enjoy it, but I don't think I would enjoy it very much. And I've heard about the Returnal stuff. I've heard about how it's very frustrating because of playing it and then not really able to save your progress until you get to a certain point and stuff like that. So I've heard about all of that. which kind of sucks. I mean, the game looks great and everything, and it does look like a very cool concept and everything. But I think with the way games are today and how everyone's able to kind of save as they go along, they don't have, and it's like all auto save. They don't have to worry about typewriters anymore, you know.
Yeah.
Like in Resident Evil. But I mean, I guess Resident Evil 8 still has the typewriter in it for saving and stuff, but still, like, to have a game where you're playing like a few hours and not able to save your progress just seems kind of odd in this day of how games are developed and played and stuff. So
Yeah. No, for sure. What about you, Ryan?
Unfortunately for me, Resident Evil 8 had to Resident Evil wait.
Oh, that didn't get me, Corey. Because
Aw.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. Did it go off for you guys?
No, I didn't hear it at all.
Wonder if my notifications are
I
working.
heard it just a little bit because of the stream being on, so I could hear it, but no, I didn't hear it.
Darn. Oh, I heard it. So yeah. I'm waiting on Resident Evil 8 because I just picked up 3 games like back to back to back. I got Monster Hunter Rise, I got Returnal, and I got Pokemon Snap. Pokemon Snap, I had played the original one on stream a few weeks before the new one came out. Had it beaten under 2 hours with just a relative working knowledge of the game. Finished it in under 2 hours. The new one, on the other hand, I have easily been able to get, as of now, I haven't been able to play it all that much, 6 hours out of it easily. And nowhere even close to being done with it. They added so much to it. They made it great. They made the tutorials a bit annoying, though. In the original one, they gave you the apple. They were like, okay, this is the button you press to throw the apple. And that was it. In the new one, they're like, okay, here, we're going to give you an apple tutorial. Press the left. Now press this button to throw the apple. That's great. Look to the right. Press it again to throw an apple. That's great. Look up. You can arc the apple. Like, the tutorials are really dumb. Oh my gosh, like... And the other thing I will say, I'm not big on Professor What's-His-Name. I can't remember his name. Professor What's-His-Name. He's nowhere near as memorable as Professor Oak in the original. Professor Oak in the original... Yeah, Mirror. He had so many great lines, like, wonderful! You were close! He was great! And we just don't have that. Why? Why make this nobody new professor? Just give us back Professor Oak, let him throw out his old lines of dialogue. It'd be fantastic. At least throw us an Easter egg of that. Maybe there's later and I haven't gotten to it yet. I don't know. Wonderful! Yeah, I loved it. Returnal. I know Corey was like really mad at Returnal. I heard the horror stories about it. I like it. I feel like it is... If you're into those games, those really difficult games like Dark Souls, this is a good, like, dip your toes in experience for a game sort of like that. Because it isn't... It feels kind of fair to an extent when it comes to the combat. It feels really fair, even though it's very difficult. I like how you progress, you get a tool, a certain item, and then if you die, that item, that artifact, will let you basically shortcut through things that you had to really fight through the first time around. Like, there's, slight example, these barriers around. You eventually get an item that lets you get through the barriers, and if you die after obtaining that item, you will always have it with you, meaning you can always get through those barriers in any future runs, playthroughs, attempts, even after you die. Mm-hmm. I think it's really dumb how... If I were to be like, well, I've been on this run for 2 hours, I have to stop for now, and I turn the game off, it will start me over as soon as I load it up again. I think that's really dumb. But at the same time, it's part of the challenge. It's part of the whole risk-reward thing.
Yeah.
I love the game, though. It's very satisfying gameplay. The guns feel really good. They handle so well. You move smoothly. They give you a lot of power, but you're also very, very... easily killed at the same time. You're a glass cannon in all intents and purposes. But it's one of those games where it's like, it's challenging, but it's satisfying when you finally do something, like kill the boss. Yeah, the combat feels so good in that game. All the weapons, except like the latest one that I got, like the hollow pointer or something, they all feel really good, feel really well designed. It's awesome. I love that game so much. I could go on for hours about Monster Hunter Rise and how that's probably the greatest game of the year.
I would agree with you on Monster Hunter, 100%.
Monster Hunter Rise. Oh my gosh, that game is incredible. I don't know. I know Corey played Monster Hunter World, but if you compare it to Monster Hunter World, it's added so much. It made so many nice changes. You have this little zip line. If you get hit, you can zip line away from monsters to give yourself some distance to heal up or something. You have these new companions, these dogs that you can just jump on the back of and ride around. You can throw armor on the dogs. You can customize everything so much. They added this. You had this feature in World of these layered armor sets, but it was really restrictive. You couldn't do it with everything. This time you can just go through and throw whatever pieces you want over any other skills. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. Oh my gosh. They are pumping out new content left and right. I think just 3 days ago, they dropped 3.0. Yeah, with this new monster. Oh man, and it's awesome.
Another new fight and this and that. Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Oh, at least 2 new fights. At least 2 new fights because they took this monster, these 2 monsters that were kind of almost supposed to be, these are the final bosses, but it was kind of a joke fight because they were so easy. But now you have this new version where you kill one of them and the other one gets enraged and just transforms, and it's so cool. And it's such a tough fight. Oh my gosh, I'm still struggling.
I haven't done it yet.
It's great. You're gonna love it.
Thanks, Ryan.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I need to beat it so I can get on to Valstrax, which is one of the other new monsters. The game is awesome. And they're just adding more and more content to it. It's gonna
new quests almost every week, every couple of weeks. There's new quests they throw in for us.
I never played Monster Hunter. Never any of the Monster Hunters. Never played any of them.
This is a pretty good entry point, honestly.
Absolutely. I was gonna bring that up next. This is probably, I would say, the best entry point of them all so far. They throw a lot of tutorial stuff at you early on, which kind of drove me insane. I was like, really?
Hours ago, I was still getting tutorials.
But at the same time, the last ones didn't really give you much of a tutorial. So this one is a great point to just jump in and learn the game. So good. And they have so much future content planned. They love to do crossovers with other Capcom games and other games in general. I know their latest stuff that they're going to be doing is crossover stuff with the upcoming Monster Hunter Stories game. But they'll always throw out stuff like a Devil May Cry, and usually if it's on a Nintendo console, they'll throw out like a Sonic or a Mario outfit for your cats and stuff.
Yeah.
So much to look forward to. Absolutely worth it. Get Monster Hunter Rise. Do it.
So I've been enjoying, I haven't been able to play it too much, but Resident Evil, everybody knows I'm a big fan of Resident Evil. So I picked that guy up and it has been nothing but it's a scary game, legit, and it looks really good and it plays just incredibly. It feels good.
I heard a lot of people comparing it to 7, and they were saying it's a lot more action based and it's a lot less scary, but it's really fun.
Yeah, so the beginning is spooky. I don't know about like I said, I've only played a little bit of it. The beginning is super scary, but I heard like down the middle and then near the end, it doesn't have that scare, but the game is really good still. So
it's like Resident Evil 4 in that sense.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see what we have in store, but so far it's been incredible. Pokemon, I'm not a big Pokemon guy. Pokemon Snap was not for me when it came out on the N64, and even now I still don't look at it, and I don't think it's for me. But I am excited for the other Pokemon games to come out. Those ones I definitely do like, those RPG ones. And Returnal, I didn't even know that game came out. To be honest, I didn't even know that game came out. One day I clicked on someone's live stream and I'm like, oh, it's out. So that one caught me right off guard because I didn't know that one was out. So I have no idea what it's about. I don't know what to expect from it, but it sounds like it's, from what you guys have been saying, it sounds like a Dark Soul type feel game.
I think you'd like it.
Yeah, so I want to try it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I want to try it.
I mean, I know you like Dark Soul a lot, so I think Returnal is definitely a game up your alley.
Yeah. So Resident Evil, like I said, it's really well done. It's a really good game, and there are so many hints and so many. Like, I honestly am feeling like right after that VR Resident Evil 4 comes out, we're gonna get a remake of that Resident Evil 4 game, because there are so many hints out there, and corresponds and all that stuff that they do with Resident Evil 4. Even the merchant makes a joke or two from the merchant of Resident Evil 4. So I mean,
I've been saying it since they announced Resident Evil 8. I've been saying it. They're gonna reuse those assets for a Resident Evil 4 remake.
yeah, yeah.
A good 2/3 of Resident Evil 4 takes place in a freaking castle. You know they're gonna reuse those assets just like they did from Resident Evil 2 to Resident Evil 3 remake.
Exactly. Now, as for Monster Hunter, I haven't played any Monster Hunter game. I haven't even looked at this one. I've always been interested in trying it just because I see these giant weapons and these giant monsters, and they're freaking awesome. I don't know if it counts, but I watched the movie, and it was a terrible movie. But
Yeah, it was made by Paul W.S. Anderson. You know it was a bad movie.
I'm telling you, man, his wife, like, I'm so sick of her acting. She's so bad. Have you guys seen the movie?
I haven't.
I've seen his Resident Evil movies, so I know what to expect.
She's horrible in that movie. Like, they should have not made her the main. Her partner, though, the person that finds her,
They shouldn't have done.
he steals the show. He steals the movie. I honestly think they could have got it away with just him being about him. But
He would never allow that.
no,
Paul
of
W.S.
course
Anderson
not. That's
would never
ridiculous.
allow that.
That's ridiculous. But the
His
movie.
wife has to be shoehorned in as the most Mary Sue character of all time, but I could go on a rant about that.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go on rant right now. Here's the problem. Here's the biggest issue I have with this movie. They did it again, where they make her this super awesome, I'm the best fighter / kick-ass person in the whole world. Nobody can beat me. And I hate that, because, like, I get it. She's a female and you want to make her strong, but not necessarily that she has to kick everybody's ass or everybody's butt or do backflips like a million times. And
Why not?
because then I know the movie's supposed to be fake, but I mean, you have to give it a little bit that feeling of realism. And
That's the thing. I feel like they tried to in some respects, but then they go out of their way to make her, like you said, kind of over the top BA.
Yeah.
You know, like where that doesn't really fit in.
Exactly.
With the realism that they're throwing in, which again, it's a video game movie, obviously, but like, if you're gonna give like some realism, like I've seen trailers and all that about how they bring the military in and this and that. And I'm like, okay, if that's how you're gonna go about it, then why is she the like over the top superhero kind of person? Like, why? But again, I haven't seen it, so I can't really totally speak on that. But that is what I picked up from the trailers and stuff. And I do want to watch it.
I am gonna say, like, for $2, I rented it for $2 off Amazon. That's how bad it is.
You got ripped off.
It went
I'll
from
say that right now.
it went from $24 down to $2. So I mean, yeah, Monster Hunter Knife. So
They scammed you. $2 for that. Oh, you got ripped.
So
I'll ask Corey this because Corey's also played Monster Hunter. Corey, who's your favorite military character in Monster Hunter?
All of the non-existent military characters in Monster Hunter.
You love Arnold Schwarzenegger's character from freaking Commando, right?
But no, there's
Monster Hunter takes place in a world that is kind of outside of the norm. Like, you don't have military typically. You're gonna have like your hunting squad, like those kind of people. Like, it's a like past sort of. It's sort of like it takes place in the past, sort of, right? You don't have, like, you have some projectile weapons and stuff, but you don't have like machine guns and like rocket launchers, and you don't have the military and tanks and all this stuff. Like that's just not part of the world. And again, as we mentioned earlier, sure, they wanted to throw it into like a modernized thing, and I get that, but it just feels like they could have not done that
appropriate.
way.
It's like a different world for this.
They blend it in to kind of explain why it happens like that. I don't.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I don't want to ruin the movie, so it'll
Ruin movies. The movie ruins itself.
it'll explain, right? So it's like, okay, cool,
Yeah.
that's awesome, right? Like, I guess that works. That's what they're gonna basically say is like, I guess that works, kind of thing. But overall, like, yeah, the movie, it could have. I think it could have done without her, and probably that side of the story. It definitely, you'll see what I mean, Corey. If you guys ever watch the movie,
Okay.
you'll see what I mean. It'll do better with what it did have. There was something I wanted to mention, but oh well. Yeah, there's a lot of like one-liners that they throw out there to sound smart, but they actually sound really dumb. So, anyways, we went from a game to Monster Hunter. Let's go back to games. But yeah, that's basically. I haven't tried Pokemon Snap or Returnal. I'm not interested in Snap, but I am interested in Returnal. I definitely want to pick that up. I just haven't had time. Like I said, I've been having too much fun with the kids. They take all my time up. Like I haven't touched Resident Evil since I bought it. So I should really jump on that train again of Resident Evil. See what happens.
You will definitely love Returnal when you give it a shot. It's a game up your alley once you get the hang of it. I only say this because I know you like Dark Souls so much.
Rigo, I'll see how much it costs for me to ship it to Canada. I got a physical copy of it. I mean, it's just sitting there. We'll see. We'll talk. We'll talk.
We'll talk. We'll make
I'll have
business.
Let's ship it to Canada.
Yeah.
I tried to send the man Dino Nuggets at one point.
Jay, hey, just do it. All right, let's jump into the big rumor because this one's actually like every day there's been more and more developing on this. I know we've talked about this before, but now it's getting to the point where everything sounds legit now, incredible. So lots have been coming out with Nintendo Switch Pro. That's what we're going with. They don't know if, as far as we know, we're getting more of a Switch Pro feeling than a second Switch. Now they're showing more details from screen size to what to expect from the Switch Pro graphically, what Nvidia has in store for it, what Nintendo has in store for it. I guess some people have come out from the actual place where they're building it and they're saying, yes, this is what's happening. One of the biggest rumors is that apparently before E3, Nintendo wants to show more detail. That's the biggest rumor, that they're gonna release detail of it. I don't know how true. When is E3? I don't even know when E3 is. Isn't that the 18th?
E3's in 2 weeks, less than
like
2 weeks.
2 weeks? Okay, so yeah, that's the one that I'm kind of like, The one that I did hear, and people are kind of agreeing with this, is the reason why we haven't heard anything from Breath of the Wild 2 and the new Metroid is because they're waiting for the Switch Pro to be announced. People are saying that those are going to be developed for that console, and that's why we haven't heard anything from it. I don't know. Those are just rumors. They're saying that we're looking at OLED screens. We're looking at 8 gigabytes of RAM. We're looking at what is it called? DSSR from
DLSS.
Yeah, from Nvidia
For 4K upscaling.
For 4K upscaling. They are saying undocked, we're gonna get 720p still, but now with the graphical enhancements, we're gonna get like full graded graphics with like anti-aliasing all the way, HD and everything, and we're gonna get like smooth 60 to 120 frames a second. That's what they're saying. I don't see why we would go 720p again when if you have the technology to push to 1080p, why not push it? But anyways, what do you guys think of these rumors? What are your thoughts of the new Switch to come? Do you believe, or do you think that these are just more rumors and speculation? Let's start with Corey.
First of all, I'll say what I've said every time we talk about these big rumors, right? Is that usually, so there's psychology, and we've talked about this before. Usually the most outlandish rumors, the more outlandish the rumor, the more likely it's actually true. Because that's, I don't know, there was something about that, but like this has been kind of in the past where it's happened that way. Like all the times when you see these rumors that are like, they're explained very well and they're like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Those are the ones that don't end up being real. The ones that are outlandish and we never expect them, those are the ones that end up being real most of the time. So I would say that a rumor like, hey, Nintendo is going to announce their Switch Pro in a few days, basically, might actually be real because of that, when you think about it that way. However, realistically speaking, I will say, I personally believe it's unlikely that they're going to announce it before E3 unless they do an actual Nintendo Direct before E3. But why would they do that when they're going to be at E3? Like, we know they're going to be at E3. This is not a year where they're not going to E3. So that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. However, all the other stuff does kind of make sense, except for the 720p handheld. If you're going to upgrade to an OLED screen, a larger screen, if you're enabling DLSS when it's docked, all this is, by the way, in the Switch. The dock is still remaining as the dock. We know there was firmware, there was firmware, I mean, there was a software update, a few months back that had, like 12.0 or whatever, whichever one it was, that apparently people found code in there that basically says that the dock is supposed to allow 4K. And that's because all of its innards, the USB-C, all that stuff is 4K capable. So if you're going to put all of this stuff inside of the Switch, make it a huge, even bigger screen, and then tell me it's only gonna be 720, that's silly. But all the other stuff I feel like it could be, but the thing is, what are we gonna pay for that? The price of components hasn't gone down very much between when the Switch came out and when this would be coming out. So therefore, like, if you're talking about adding all that in, like we paid what, $300 initially for the Switch. If you think about all that other crap, the 4K and more RAM and basically a better graphics chip and all of that thing, all those things have to come from somewhere. They have to be paid for. So then, are we talking about paying $400 or $500 for a Switch Pro? $400, maybe if it's like a truly upgraded Switch Pro, but like $400 or $500 defeats the purpose of us talking about like a handheld hybrid console at this point. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's kind of what I think. But anyways, I think the rumors, I think we could see something at E3. I just don't expect to see anything before E3. I think that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they did say that, I guess they're not changing the Joy-Cons. The Joy-Cons are still the same. It's going to be the same size as what we have now, but what they're doing is the screen's going to be...
The bezel.
The bezel's going to be bigger, yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're going to shrink it to where it's going to be almost no bezel, because we have a lot of bezel on this Switch. I mean, there's probably, 3/4 of an inch on every side at least. I mean, that's a lot of space when you're talking about like a 6-inch, 7-inch screen, whatever it is right now. Like, if you remove a lot of that, you can get a much bigger screen for sure.
Yeah. Chadley, what are your thoughts?
I'm hoping we see something.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Exactly. No, for sure. Chadley, what are your thoughts, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It seems credible, but I'll wait to see it I'll believe it when I see it, I guess, type of thing. Obviously we know Nintendo's going to have to do something at some point. Like, the Switch is not going to be the end-all be-all console that they will stick with.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of time before they do actually announce the new system. Whether it's a hybrid console again, or they go back to doing handheld and separate home console type of deal. Like, I don't think they'll ever do that again unless the next Switch doesn't do very well. Then they might go back to doing separate handheld and separate console.
I would have said the same thing, except they made a Switch Lite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, and again, the Switch Lite is their way of saying, well, if for those of you that don't use the dock, you can save a little bit of money and just buy the handheld version and still play all the same games. Someone in the chat mentioned something about them coming out with games that would only run on the Pro, which I think would only hurt the system, but it's almost inevitable. Like, at that point, like, they'll have to, I would think they would market it as the next generation of the Switch, where knowing that it's backwards compatible, but the games that come out for it, specifically for that system, people will just have to understand that they're just not going to run on the old system. Like, that's the only way they could do it, really. Like, instead of trying to, because we already see this problem with PS4 and PS5. you try to get a game running on a PS4 that was designed for PS5 and was brought back so that it could run on the PS4, like we've already seen how bad that can go. So like the same thing could happen with a new Switch, you know. Get a game that's designed for the Pro, but now they got to make it backwards, like make the game actually work with the older system. And I just don't see that going very well, but I don't know. We'll see it. Hey, in 2 weeks, you know, June 12th to the 15th, you know, you got 3 days of awesome gaming news coming from, I mean, you got Nintendo, Square Enix, Sony, Microsoft. Like, you got all of them coming out, and they're going to have a lot of juicy information coming out in a couple weeks here. So the only reason I would think Nintendo would announce anything about a new Switch prior to E3 is if they already have publishers that want to show their games at E3. And they just happen to be talking about their games before the Nintendo before the Nintendo E3 event or whatever.
Yeah.
That'd be the only reason why they would want to show anything about a possible new console prior to E3. Is just so that it doesn't get spoiled, I guess, by other developers.
For sure. What about you, Ryan? What are your thoughts?
In 2004, Nintendo gave us the DS. 4 years later, they gave us the DSi. 2011, they gave us the 3DS. 2014, I believe, so almost 4 years later, they gave us the 3DS, the new 3DS. We are at about that time frame where if they were going to release this like new updated version of it, that they'd probably want to do it. I agree with Corey though. I feel like with everything that's been going on this year though, the manufacturing costs and stuff, that may have, be a thorn in their side, maybe holding them back just a little, but I don't think that's going to stop them inevitably. Like, it may be delayed a little bit, but I think it's going to happen. Will it be this year? Will they announce it at E3? Maybe. I don't know. All I'm saying is, if we look at their past and their history, now's about the time. And I'll also throw this out there. Pokemon Black and White, those were games that were made for the Nintendo DS. However, you could only play them on DSi or later. So, who knows? They very well could make a Nintendo Switch game that's only playable on the Switch Pro or something to that effect.
Yeah.
It's not really outside of the realm of possibility. That's all I got to say about it.
I personally think it's probably about time for an upgraded Switch. I just think all of those things that people keep saying, all of the upgrades they're trying to throw in there, I think that's a little bit much to expect that as an upgraded Switch versus like Switch 2 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like the people want to be heard. Like, they want Nintendo to see what they want and then hope that Nintendo will just give what they want, which never happens. So
Nintendo does what Nintendo wants, right?
Hey, Nintendo gave us Ridley and Smash after they said they would never do it.
Oh, for sure. So let's move quickly because there's something I forgot I wanted to talk about. Actually, let's do it now. So Sony did something super unconsumer friendly.
Oh my gosh.
And people are having a heyday about it, and I totally don't blame them because this is the dumbest move that anyone could do. So everybody loves cross-platform. We all love cross-play. It's awesome. It's fantastic. It gives you a reason to play with your friends if you don't have that said console. But Sony turned around and said, hey, we're all down for cross-play, but if you want to do it with us, you need to pay us, and then we'll unlock it. To the developers. Developers aren't going to pay to do that. They're just going to turn around and go to Xbox and Switch and PC and be like, cross-platform on that, guys. Cross-play with that, and not Sony. What are your thoughts on this? Why do you think Sony would do such a thing? And yeah, what are your thoughts on that? Like, I still can't believe they're doing that. Corey, let's go with you.
Oh, okay. So first of all, just anybody who doesn't know, this all came out with that whole Epic Games lawsuit recently with Apple and everything, and it came out. The leaked documents that weren't supposed to be leaked, but they were leaked, showed that Sony does indeed charge the developers to allow them to use, the crossplay features. However, Rigo, I will say, developers will pay it, just not all of them, because many are. In fact, like Bungie is opening up crossplay in like a few weeks. They just had a beta test for it. We know already, like Fortnite has it. It's not as an argument. That's as a thing that says that Sony has their foothold so hard. But the thing is, so Borderlands, this is the one that where this all came up from, is that 2K Gearbox, they tweeted out that they're publishing a patch for Borderlands 3 with full crossplay, except they had to go back and take out Sony's crossplay, no PlayStation, because their publisher wanted that. That's 2K, by the way, is their publisher. And then we all knew how to read between the lines and read the context that it was because Sony charges you for that. We know that. What I think's happening is that Randy Pritchford, who is the CEO of Gearbox, has always kind of had he's had this like a rebellious, like he's that kind of person that always kind of does what he wants. And so I think he's trying to almost be the advocate for the little guy in this case, right? It's not them being the little guy, but hoping that I think that this will be enough to make Sony rethink their charging to let people use crossplay, because it's dumb, it's stupid. I can almost understand if they were to be like, well, it takes sales away from us because you're gonna buy it on Xbox, but like the consumer wins if everyone can play on their console of choice.
Yeah.
The consumer wins overall, and which means you as a company are going to win as well. Like, if you disable crossplay on a particular platform, that hurts the consumers. That doesn't hurt anybody but the consumers. So I'm really hoping that like maybe that's what they're doing, is they're trying to push back like for everyone. Now, obviously, to a point, it's about money. They're a company. They don't want to pay it. But I'm hoping that this will be big enough, and he's already kind of got that reputation. Randy Pritchard has that reputation as kind of the the troublesome child, So I'm hoping that like this will push a little bit and get Sony going, well, maybe we really shouldn't do that. But then you've got other really big publishers, big developers, Bungie and Epic, and everybody pays for it already. So I don't know. It's dumb though. The whole thing is stupid. They should not be charging for that.
Charlie, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, that whole paying for it just comes down to how much money you have. Because if Sony's paying a flat rate, a company that already has a ton of money is going to be like, oh, you're only charging us that much? Sure, we'll pay it. Because it's just a dime. It's just a drop in the bucket for them.
Yeah. But
on a smaller scale, when you're talking to smaller developers and stuff, it's the same price, of course, but they're the ones that it's a bigger margin of profit. It's a bigger hit to their profit margin when they have to pay to do crossplay when they don't have to pay for everybody else, type of thing. So the bigger guys, yeah, and that's with any kind of business thing. The more money you have, the less of a it's not as hard to make that type of a decision, because you can just say, yeah, sure, I'll pay, and everybody's happy. Sony's happy, we're happy, consumers happy, because everyone's able to play crossplay, so everyone's happy. But yeah, I mean, I would almost have to understand the reason why they have to charge. Like the cross-playing is like, no, I understand they can't. It's like, but I mean, it makes them look like you have to pay us to get the privilege to play with people using our console. And it's like, I don't see them just giving it for free really hurting their profit margin, because if they just gave it crossplay out for free.
Maybe what it is, and I have nothing at all to go by, but maybe this could help justify. Maybe like with their crossplay, what they're charging for crossplay is they're charging for like an architecture, like a package, right? Like a here is code, here is all this set up already for you to integrate with your system, not just like allowing you to connect, between the two different console servers and all, but like maybe here's like a pre-set up package and all this stuff ready to be integrated easily, and that's what they're charging for. I don't know. I don't have anything to go by, but like I would, in my head, I would like to justify it by saying at least maybe it's something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not a privilege, maybe it's like help.
Yeah, or it's rolled into something else that they're required to pay for as well, because we've seen that where it's like, if you're a developer, because Corey and I are developers, so we kind of have a little bit of understanding of this stuff, and there's a lot of website packages and stuff like that where it's like, I only need this one thing, but it ends up getting bundled with a bunch of other features, and you end up having to pay for everything and only have to be just to get access to this one thing. And who knows, with Sony it could be the same thing where it's like Sony's charging you for a bunch of different things that you can have access to when you're developing your game on their system, and crossplay just happens to be one of those things that gets thrown into this package that you got to pay for everything just to get to the crossplay.
Yeah.
But again, Corey and I are speculating, so that like we don't understand because we're not developers for PlayStation games. So the inner workings, and obviously Sony doesn't want people blabbing about that kind of stuff either.
Yeah, we weren't even supposed to know this is a thing. And we only know it's leaked court documents, which again, we're not supposed to be leaked.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as the whole crossplay thing, it's just another like hit against them, just because the whole crossplay drama has been an issue for Sony. And of course they're like, yeah, sure, we'll finally agree to do crossplay, and now we find out there's a catch.
Yeah.
That we're not supposed to know about, but yet developers are kind of hushed. Like they probably signed some kind of agreement saying, yep, we'll do crossplay, we'll pay for it, but we can't tell people that we have to pay you to use it, that kind of thing. So it's like Sony wanted to make themselves look like the good guy, but then in the end they end up still looking like the bad guy. So it's like
Nope, for sure. Ryan, what are your thoughts on this?
So I think in the long run, this is going to hurt Sony more than it would honestly hurt small developers. Small developers, they're going to go to other places. They can go to Nintendo and Xbox. Sony's going to lose out on those guys more so than anything else. And let's be real, indie games, they are kind of on the rise. If you ask people, a lot of people are saying right now that they're preferring these indie games to AAA games. They're the market that you really want to be opened up to. Nintendo's been doing a great job at that. They've been opening their arms wide to a bunch of indie developers. PlayStation, on the other hand, they kind of just want to sit there in their own little corner, in their own little bubble. And it's just stupid to charge. It's going to hurt them in the long run more than it will anyone else. Don't be greedy. Greedy's an expensive way to live.
So true.
That's all I got to say about it, though.
So true. But going back to Sony, lots have been appearing for PlayStation 5 VR. They showed some awesome designs on their controls, and they look like the Oculus and the HTC Vive remotes, and so they're like circular and have the joystick, and you kind of hold them really nicely. So people have been really excited about that. Not to mention, there's been a lot of rumors and stuff like that have been coming out with details of said headset, where they're saying the lenses are going to be able to do eye tracking, which is a nice little feature. We're going to be looking at better lenses for 4K gaming, which again, it's going to be great. That's a good resolution, and that means that they're also saying that they're going to be able to handle more graphical power thanks to the PlayStation 5. And they want to add haptic feedback not only to the controls but to the headset itself. So that's really interesting because one of the guys where was it that I got it from? Comic.com, I think it was. They were saying that what they want to do is when there's scenes, you know how in some scenes in games, somebody gets hit in the face or smacked with something in the face, you're going to be able to feel that with the haptic feedback. So that's really interesting to add to the headset. So what are your thoughts on the new headset? And is it something that you might be interested in getting? Or do you think, again, it's just something that they're bringing out, but it's not going to really pick up? So let's start with Corey.
So, to be honest, I haven't kept up a whole bunch with the PlayStation VR stuff. I've caught some of the glimpses of some of the stuff. You know, the controllers look really cool, and the rumors about 4K and stuff, and all those things are actually really understandable and really reasonable in my opinion at this point. 4K would be a little bit rough, I think, because depending on how they do it, maybe DLSS or something, because even really powerful PCs they can barely play games regularly in VR. I mean, not in VR, but like regularly in 4K. So I think 4K might be a stretch, except unless they're doing DLSS or something. But like the lenses, I mean, my Lenovo Explorer that I have, and I think Stephie has the same one. Those are capable, and those are like 5 or 6 years old, maybe at this point, and those are capable of 1440p with their lenses in both eyes. Each one is a 1440p lens, which is not 4K or even close, but it's much higher than your regular 1080p and stuff. So, oh, you have the Odyssey. I thought you had the same one as me, but anyways, yeah, same. They're almost the same. But like. So that just goes to show that like the ability to have a much higher resolution lens and high refresh rate and stuff like that is right reasonable. I have the Quest 2. I have an Oculus Quest 2, and it does 120 hertz refresh and everything now with a software update they just did. So like, and that one doesn't require being hooked up to the computer or anything. So its horsepower is all built in with its mobile CPU and everything. So that just tells me that when you're talking about a system like that, right there, that thing, that powerful system should be able to drive a really high resolution with the high refresh rate and everything in a headset. So I think all those things are very very reasonable. Even eye tracking and stuff, I think is pretty reasonable to expect at this point. PSVR is really bad though initially, Stephie. I mean, that's a good point. That it was really bad because they had the screen door effect and stuff like that, which really made a lot of people nauseous, and it even really got me. But like a regular headset, a PC headset, will not have that these days. And so I'm hoping that the new one for the PS5 won't have that either. I think that was just their alternative to making a cheap, very early stage VR, because they did it before VR was super mainstream. They did the PSVR, and so I think that with everything now, like, it would be a lot better. And with the PS5's horsepower, I think that would be really reasonable for all those things to be a possibility.
For sure. Chadley, what are your thoughts on VR-ness?
Yeah, I haven't really followed it much. But I mean, obviously, with the way VR is going, like, a lot of that stuff doesn't seem like out of the realm of possibility. Like Corey said, with the DLSS and like all that kind of stuff, it might not be true 4K. The lenses might support 4K resolution, but you're not getting like true 4K visuals. Like maybe there'll be 1440 visuals, but just upscaled to 4K, just so they can keep the frame rate low, but still make it look nice because of the DLSS and all that kind of stuff. But, and also they want to keep the price down too, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because, it's just a matter of time before, and obviously the way they did the PlayStation 5, like, they're gonna obviously want to make sure that the VR is worth it for people that are used to seeing great visuals from the PS5, and then they don't want to have a VR that's going to give them a subpar experience when they can just play the game without the VR and get a much better experience, I guess. So yeah, I don't know. It's just a matter, like, again, just going back to like the Switch Pro, it's just a matter of time before we get to that point.
Yeah.
Is now when we get to that point, or do we have to wait till the next iteration type of thing? But maybe we'll find out in E3. So
Exactly. What are your thoughts, Mr. Ryan?
So I really agree with Stephie with the whole setup time and just it's such a hassle. There's wires everywhere. But dang, was Resident Evil 7 in VR like one of the greatest video game and horror game experiences ever? So good. So good. I'm wondering how well RE8 would be like that. I'm really curious about that. And then we have all these other games that have just come out. VR has so much potential.
Yeah.
Just need them to, get on with it. Sort of. Streamline it down, Don't let it be the wire spiders and everything. Yeah, the Exorcist in VR. Didn't Rico play that? Didn't you play Exorcist in VR?
I did. Not the Exorcist. I played. What was it called? Great. Now it's gonna bug me. Paranormal Activity.
That was it. Paranormal Activity.
Yeah. Horror in VR? No, thank you.
Horror in VR. Oh my gosh.
I did Exorcist, and that was the worst experience of my life. And I mean the most terrifying. Not like bad, but like terrifying. Like, holy crap. No, thank you.
Oh god. It is next level for horror games. I love it.
That's the problem.
My first ever VR experience with a horror game was the dumbest little free download thing ever for like a phone VR thing. Where I was just like sitting in a bed in a room and a little clown kept popping up and running under the bed and stuff like that. And it was horrifying. Oh my gosh, VR for horror. So much potential. And I hope we can just keep it up. I know we're having a new Five Nights at Freddy's game up and coming. I don't know if we're going to talk about upcoming games. But so much potential. I hope that we get to see more of it. Just make it more manageable. Streamline it. That sort of thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then you know what? It's like, with the PS VR, I got rid of mine. Because I said, hey, you never know, a new one might come out, and luckily they've been seeing it. But I remember that on the PS VR, looking at the characters, one of the things that made me always feel nauseous was how low resolution the game was. And you see all these jaggedy lines, and you would move, and you would see the shadowing, and that's what always made me feel really nauseous. I was like, oh my god, I can't take it. But it was fun. It was fun. I really enjoyed the VR on the PlayStation. So if they upgrade it and it looks better, and because I hear the PC, when you play HTC Vive or you play on the Oculus, the nausea and all that stuff is basically not there because it's so well done. So I've never
can confirm.
I haven't tried any of those, and I really want to try those. But I'm very excited. To see what they have in store for us when it comes with the PlayStation 5 VR headset. Hopefully, it comes soon. Maybe we'll hear something like Charlie said during E3. Maybe they'll announce something to us. But until then, I mean, there's not much we can say or do until they announce it. So we'll see. There was something else we were going to talk about. We were talking about it before the stream, and now I can't remember because I couldn't type it down. Oh, it's going to bug me now. It's going to bug me.
It's going to come to you at 3 a.m.
Probably.
Sony announces Breath of the Wild 2 in VR. Of course.
There it is.
Since Nintendo will freaking do it.
It all makes sense now.
Sony do what Nintendo.
So I do want to get people's opinion on something. If we have a second,
Yes,
Game Builder Garage.
Yes.
So I'm gonna open up with this. If anybody here who hasn't, paid attention to this, Game Builder Garage is basically if you took the Labo building kit that they put with the Labo games and then turned it up to 600, that's what this looks like it's gonna be. And then you can also share your creations and download other people's creations and also modify those creations. So you're gonna have issues where, like with Mario Maker, where people were copying people's levels, and some people got really upset about that. But you're also gonna be able to, like, even they are saying, hey, that's how you can collaborate with your friends. Like, I can start creating a game and go, oh, Ryan, do you want to do something with it? Here, take the code. Here, now you can download it and start making modifications. Send me a code for the updated version, and we'll have, you know, be able to collab. So what I'm really thinking, I'm really hoping, and I'm very hopeful for this, and I know it's kind of a big thought, but like, I wanted to become the Mario Maker of like game creation, game making tools, right? Where we stream it and people just come to the stream and give us their codes for their games, and we play a game that's for 10, 20, 30 minutes or whatever, and just go through and play different people's games. And I think that would be really freaking cool. Like, that's my big hope. That's why I'm buying it. I don't think I'll be able to create anything very good. I'm not that creative, but I'm really hoping that other people are going to come up with some really cool stuff. So
Yeah.
what's everybody's thoughts?
Oh, I agree 100%. That game is looking
Like, I'm super excited.
so. I probably won't get it day one. I want
Heard
to,
it.
see it first before I go all in on it. But I am definitely looking at it, keeping an eye on it. Oh my gosh!
Well, you can come to my stream.
Rico went off to go get it now. That's how hyped he is for it.
It's like, hold on, guys. My the publisher's calling. I gotta go get that real quick.
Yeah, yep.
Chadley, what do you think, man?
I think same way. Like, I'll probably check it out, and if I get it, it'll be more to just play the creations more so than trying to create my own stuff. Because with Mario Maker, I've never been interested in making levels. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I always felt that the creation of the levels was kind of clunky anyway, because it's not keyboard and mouse driven. If it was keyboard and mouse driven, I think I would probably be more open to creating levels, because it'd be so much more, it would just be so much easier to create a level using a mouse than using the joystick on a controller. And
Yes,
just
you
the-
can
the
use
whole-
a mouse with the game with Game Builder Garage. By the way,
yeah, that's right. That's
Great.
right. That's right.
that's gonna be great.
Yeah. So I even with that little feature with the mouse and stuff, I feel that I'll probably play people's creations. I don't know if I have the time. That's the thing. Like, finding the time to create my own stuff, and it's like the only time I'd have time to do it would be to stream it. And it's like, am I really going to want to create something? And it almost feel like work at that point, because I'm already a programmer, I'm already a developer, so it's kind of like,
Come on,
me
man, I
trying
do
to
that.
develop I don't know.
I develop crap in my own time, but I'm crazy.
I know.
I mean, how many levels have you made for Mario Maker? Exactly.
I
You
made
don't
like
have
3.
to. Yeah, you don't have to
Yeah,
make
you don't
levels.
you don't have to.
You can
Make
just
it.
enjoy other
That's
people's.
to make the levels, though.
Yeah.
Your viewers are going to show up and be like, here's my levels, here's all my games, here's all the things I made, check this out, check this out, check this out. It's going to happen, like, if
Yeah.
it takes off. That's the other
if it
thing.
takes off,
Only like 3 people buy it, well, it's going to be a very shallow pool of games.
I'm hoping it takes off like that, Rigo. That's my big hope, is that it becomes the Mario Maker of game making. Like, that would be so cool.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, it's already 10. Well, it's almost 10. I gotta get back to work because the store is super dirty. And they're
Rigo being all responsible and
I
stuff.
gotta be responsible. But guys, this was awesome. I'm super excited. E3 is just around the corner. I don't know if you guys want to wait till the end of the month of next month, or after E3 we can plan something in the middle to kind of just talk about E3. I don't know. We have to talk about that later on. Cause
let's
we
definitely talk
got
about
like
that.
a month to figure it out, right?
yeah, we got a little bit
Yeah.
to figure it out. But yeah, guys, thank you all for coming out to join us. Thank you all the viewers for joining us. It's been a while. I had so much fun. Like, it feels so good to do this. I love it.
Yeah, yes.
Chadley, Ryan, and Corey, thank you guys for taking the time again on your busy schedules. I know we've been super busy and we missed a couple. We missed a couple, but we're gonna try to get back on track and not miss anymore.
Yeah,
When you
that's the
come
hope
back
here.
to streaming.
Yeah, Rigo, we miss you, man.
I know. I'll get back. I'm enjoying this.
Windsor
wait,
Turtle.
Wait till the world is back to normal a bit, guys, and then you'll see Rigo here with me for one of the podcasts. He'll be live in my studio. I got room for him right
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
right. Right here
Don't
on this
worry.
spot right here.
Or right here, whichever one he wants.
Do the podcast live together. That's the dream.
Everyone's welcome.
Right? And this time we'll have real tacos
Just
in the
see it.
middle.
Ooh, yes.
Just waiting for
Wow.
Bess to pop out from behind Corey again.
All right?
Like every 5 minutes, he's just like creeping up from the bottom here.
Yeah, the dude's holding Rigo's space form. It's keeping the spot warm.
Oh my god. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for joining. I super appreciate it, and I will see you guys whenever I start streaming, and which hopefully it
We
might
look
be soon.
forward to it.
We'll see. We'll see.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. Don't forget to please hit that sub button if you haven't already. Definitely go check out all the guys' links in the description below. You'll love them as much as I love you guys. All right, my friends. Take care. Have a good one, and don't forget the most important thing in the whole wide world. Come to our live stream on Super Famous. Take care, guys. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I
Bye.